What's up? I'm Drew Paul Bell, and in this video we're doing some more Q&A questions. So we have a question from our friend Rika888. Wants to know if architects get, how you get actual dimensions for a floor plan, like say if you're doing a renovation project. Do you, as an architect, go and measure every inch of it, or do you hire someone else more reliable to do it? And I'd say no, there's no one more reliable than an architect. You're the one that goes and does that. In fact, in my firm, we've actually kind of somehow fallen into a kind of a relationship with another firm who is operating out of Miami, and they work with like this wax salon company who, when they're about to move into a commercial space, they need somebody to go in and take measurements and give them the existing measurements so that they know how much room they have to work within. We've actually set up a relationship where with their local Georgia projects, they have me go in and do the measurements, and I do the drawings, and I measure out to the inch, to the eighth of an inch, where everything is, whether we're talking about widths, we do build outs, we have to know the heights of walls, heights of the ceilings, windows, doors, basically everything that there is to measure. And we do those, I do those through drawings, and then send those drawings off to that company. But no, architects do that. That's what we're for. Okay, we have another question from our friend Ricky Bouches, and wants to know, he says, I'm 26 years old, am I too old to start architecture school? Hell no. Dude, I started school in 2009. I graduated, we're about the same age. I graduated high school in 2009. I started college in 2009. That was during the kind of the beginning of the recession. And there were a lot of people in my college who went to school with me who had been working in the field. They had been like draftsmen or interior designers or that kind of a thing. And they decided, hey, since the economy went down, this would be a great time to go back to school and get a degree and get paid more than just being a drafter. So I went to school with people way older than me. One guy we affectionately referred to as Old Man John, and me and him were buddies, were hanging out the other day. He was like 35, I think, when we started, and he's in his 40s now. There was another guy who, his name was Brad. My joke was that we called him Auto Brad. He had been a drafter for a long time, and he graduated high school the year I was born. And so my joke was that he had been doing architecture my entire life, and this is who I had to compete against in school. And those are just two people out of like a whole class. Like I started school in my university as a true freshman, but by the time I graduated in fifth year, the people who started as true freshmen and graduated fifth year, we were a minority. Most of the people were older. There were plenty of people who started out 22, 23, 24. There was 26. There was obviously 30s and 40s. There was one lady who started out, I think she was like in her 50s or 60s. I didn't get to know her very well, and she was only around for about a year before she changed majors or dropped out. Yeah, dude, like, and I remember there being people there who were like 70s and being like 60s to 70s, who were a year older than me or 2 years ahead of me in the degree, in the program. And they were like, yeah, like they'd been married, they did the whole thing, and they want to change their careers. They only had so many years left, and they wanted to go do this. Like, you're never too old. I mean, only you can decide if you're too old. Like, if you think you've wasted too much time, and this isn't what you want to do, then like, don't do that. But I don't know. No, you're not too old. All right, our friend Eric Gomez wants to know. He says he's getting his degree in Argentina, but he's actually originally from the U.S. and he wants to move back to the U.S. after he gets his degree. He wants to know. All right, so he has some questions about licensing with that. Yeah, so all right, a few years ago, I actually came across an interesting website. I think it was called Upwardly Global. I'm gonna include a link to it in the description. And this is an awesome website. It talks about like how to move into the United States from another country. And you come from the link that I'm gonna give you, you're gonna see like, I think 5 or 6 different states. And there's like California, New York, Illinois. That'll get you to like New York, Chicago, or Los Angeles, or any of the California cities. New Hampshire and Michigan, I think. And so if you click through the state for the region you want to go to, then click architect, because you're going to get to pick from like all the different kinds of professions. Click on architect, and then it's going to give you a rundown of stuff that you need to know about moving into the country. So it's going to give you this detail. If you are not foreign, if you're not living overseas from the U.S., but you still want to move like within the U.S., this is also a helpful website for people who are interested in moving to particular cities. If you want to move to New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, San Francisco, those cities are in there, and those are in those states. So if you need to know kind of kind of the inner workings of that particular state. This can give you a lot of help about the advice that you need on how to get to those places specifically. Okay, so I hope that this helps. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video if you enjoyed it, and send me your questions in the comments down below. I hope this helps, and I'll talk to you next time.